In the context of work and productivity, understanding file extensions and how they're used to determine the program to open a file is essential. File extensions are the letters or characters that appear at the end of a file name, typically separated by a period or a dot. For example, .txt is the file extension of plain text files. Different file types require different programs to open and view them. For instance, a Microsoft Word document with a .docx or doc extension can be opened with Microsoft Word, while an image file with a .gbg extension can be viewed with an image viewer or editing software like Photos or Snagit or whatever. Web browsers also use media types, also known as MIME types, to determine how to display files on the web. Media types are identified by a string of characters that describe the type of data in a file. For example, text plain represents plain text files, and image JPEG represents JPEG image files. When a file is requested from a web server, the server maps the file extension to the appropriate media type. This mapping allows the web browser to understand how to handle and display the file to the user.
This is CS50.
Welcome back to CS50 Python. Problem set 1, file extensions. In this problem set, as we said in the beginning of the video, we're being introduced to the file extensions and the file types. Feel free to read all this. The summary is we are being asked to create a file called extensions.py, where we prompt the user for a file name, then outputs that file's media type. So the file name must have one of the below suffixes. If the file's name ends case insensitively, so in this, we're going to use .lower, and any of these suffixes .gif, .gbg, .gbeg, .png, PDF, txt, zip. So if the file extension ends with one of these, then we get the file name. So here is an example. So let's see if a file ends in .gif, like here. So the file type is image GIF. If the file name ends in JPEG or JPEG, then it's an image JPEG file. What if the file doesn't have an extension? Then in this case, we get the application acted stream. Let's see how to implement this in our program right now. Let's dive in. Head to your IDE, in my case VS Code. I work in it locally, so you can use the VS Code online related to CS50. I created a file called x.txt to collect the suffixes and their media types. That will make it easier for me to write the code. And then I created the other file, the .py file, to write the code, make things ready. First things first, we create the variable to store the input of the user, which is file name, and we strip the input from any spaces, and we make it case insensitive. So everything in the input will be in the lowercase. So first condition, if the file name dot ends with, and here is one of the good things about Python. So if the file name, in this case we would use ends with. So ends with, it will take the, for example, dot gif. So if the last words in the variable are dot gif, it returns true. So if the file name ends with a dot gif, what should we do? So for example, if the user gave me the file name cat.gif, we need to print out the file type, which is this one. So we know that the file type is an image GIF file. Well, the second condition, we use elif, the file that ends with GPG or GPEG. So if the file name ends in GPG or the file entered by the user ends with JPEG, so JPEG, what should we get? We get the file type as this. So it's going to be an image JPEG file. Same story goes for the third condition. So a file that ends with a PNG, so PNG, then we need to print out that this file is an image PNG file. Same story goes here. So let's copy this. And now we're having a PNG. And then if the file name ends in PDF, so PDF, so it's an application of a subtype PDF. Same here, if it ends in TXT, the suffix is TXT, so we know that it's a text file and its subtype is a plain text. Let's copy that one too. If the file suffix, so here dot, this is very important, dot png dot pdf dot txt, and here dot zip file. So zip file is an application of a subtype zip file. And last thing, which is else, if the file name doesn't end in any of these, we need to print out that this is an octet stream application, as we have been instructed by CS50. Let's test that out. So Python of extensions dot py. Let's start with a cat. If a cat is a GIF file, it must end in GIF, so it's an image GIF. If it's a dog and it's a JPG file, so yeah, now we're going fine. If it's a typo, JPEG file, so now it's fine. If it's a camel and this camel is a PNG file, so it's PNG. If it's a bottle, it's a PDF file, so must get it as an application PDF. What if it's a text file? So it's a table.txt. It's a plain text. Zip file. So let's say it's a key.zip. So it's an application that zip. Letter with no extension, so we get application.active. If you've reached that far, so your code is working fine, then you can copy the code. So now you can copy the code, follow the instructions here, create an extensions directory, move to the directory, copy your file online, and then you can run check 50. If everything is fine, then you can submit 50. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.